All right, welcome. If you're holding Cardano, you're probably asking yourself, how can I put this stuff to work? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to cover. We're going to walk through how to securely stake your ADA using that powerhouse combo of an Eternl wallet and a Ledger hardware wallet. So let's dive right in.
So, you've already made some really smart moves. You've got your ADA tucked away in an Eternl wallet, and it's being protected by a Ledger. I mean, that is a top-tier security setup, seriously. So the question on the screen is the perfect one. Now what? How do you go from just holding your crypto to actually putting it to work for you and for the Cardano network itself?
To really appreciate the setup you have, you got to understand this difference. A hot wallet is always online. Yeah, it's convenient, but it's also a juicy target for hackers. But you're using a cold wallet. This means the private keys, the things that actually control your funds, are stored completely offline on your Ledger device. They never, ever touch the internet. That's what makes it basically a digital fortress for your funds.
Okay, so here's the game plan to get you from just holding to actively staking. First, we'll cover the basics of why Cardano staking is so incredibly safe. Then, we're going to take a tour of the Eternl wallet. After that, the big one, choosing the right stake pool. We'll walk through how to delegate your ADA, see how to track your rewards, and then we'll wrap up with a couple of pro tips for managing your wallet.
All right, Section 1, the absolute basics of secure staking. Before we click a single button, it's so important to understand what makes staking on Cardano feel different, and frankly, a whole lot safer than on many other networks.
This right here, this is probably the single most important thing to get about Cardano staking. Read it, and then read it again. When you stake, your ADA is never locked up. It never ever leaves your wallet. You're not sending it to some risky, mysterious contract. It stays right where it is, totally liquid and completely under your control always.
The official term for this is non-custodial staking. And the best way to think about it is like this. You're not handing over your money. You're just handing over your voting rights for the network. And this is where your Ledger is the hero of the story. To delegate, you have to physically approve the transaction on your device, which proves you're the owner without ever exposing your keys online. You always maintain full custody.
Okay, let's get our hands dirty. It's time to get familiar with our mission control, the Eternl wallet. It is packed with features, so let's just do a quick run-through of the key areas you'll actually be using.
So here are your main tabs. The Account tab, that's your big picture overview, your portfolio. Transactions, pretty self-explanatory. That's your history. Send and receive do exactly what they say. But for us today, the most important tab, the one we really care about, is staking. This is the delegation hub, and it's where all the magic is about to happen.
Okay, Section 3. And listen, this is probably the most important decision you're going to make in this whole process, choosing a stake pool. Getting this part right is the absolute key to maximizing your rewards and, just as important, supporting the health and decentralization of the entire network.
I bet you've seen this before. If you've spent 5 minutes on Reddit or X, you see a post like this. Some new pool pops up showing a massive return on stake, or ROS, like this 16% example. It is so tempting to just jump right in, right? But be careful. A huge number like that is usually just a sign of short-term luck, not a sign of a genuinely good, reliable pool.
So, to see past all that hype, you need to look at these key numbers. Pledge is how much of the operator's own money is in the pool. It's their skin in the game. Margin is just their fee, their percentage cut. Saturation is a warning that a pool is getting too crowded, which will actually lower your rewards. But the real truth teller, the most important metric, is lifetime ROA, return of ADA. Forget those flashy short-term spikes. This number shows you a pool's actual performance over the long haul.
So let's just compare that flashy pool to a more stable one. Pool A, it's got that tempting 16% ROS. But look closer, its lifetime return is less than 1%, and the operator only has 600 ADA pledged. They're not risking much. Now look at Pool B. Its lifetime return is a really consistent 2.55%, and the operator has 50,000 of their own ADA on the line. When you look at it this way, the choice for long-term, reliable rewards becomes pretty clear, doesn't it?
So let's boil it all down. Here's your checklist for finding a fantastic pool. You want a high pledge, you want operators with skin in the game, you want low saturation, ideally under 60% so your rewards don't get diluted. A reasonable margin, usually somewhere between 0 and 5% is pretty standard. And most importantly, a consistent lifetime ROA. Ignore the lucky one-off spikes, you're looking for stability.
Okay, homework's done. You've done the research, you've vetted the metrics, and you've picked your pool. Perfect. Let's head back to the wallet and actually delegate our stake. Let's do this.
All right, the process itself is really just 6 simple steps. First, you're going to navigate over to that staking tab we looked at earlier. Second, search for your pool using its ticker symbol. Third, you click that big Delegate button. Now, step 4. Just take a second to review the details. You'll see a small transaction fee and a 2 ADA deposit. Don't worry, you get that deposit back if you ever decide to unstake. Step 5 is the most critical security check. Connect your ledger and approve the transaction on the physical device's screen. And finally, step 6, you just jump back to Eternl, pop in your spending password, and click Sign. Done.
And that's it. Your delegation transaction is sent. You are now officially an active participant helping to secure the Cardano network. So, the next big question is, when do you get paid? When do you start seeing those rewards roll in?
So Cardano's timeline works in these 5-day periods called epochs. As you can see here, there's a little bit of a waiting game right at the very beginning when you first delegate. It takes about 15 to 20 days for your stake to go live and for those first rewards to show up. But here's the key. After that first payment, you get paid every single epoch. That means fresh rewards landing in your wallet every 5 days like clockwork.
And this might be one of the best features of staking on Cardano. Your rewards compound automatically. Every single auto you earn is instantly added to your stake total for the next cycle. So your rewards start earning their own rewards, all without you lifting a finger. There's no need to constantly claim and restake. It's truly passive, and it's incredibly powerful over time.
All right, look at you. You're basically a seasoned staker now. So let's wrap this up with a couple of quick advanced tips to help you keep your wallet clean, tidy, and running efficiently. Okay, let's talk about something called UTXOs. The absolute best way to think of these is like the individual bills and coins in your physical wallet. Sometimes, especially if you get a lot of airdrops, your wallet can fill up with tons of tiny coins, which just makes it messy. Consolidation is basically like taking all that loose change to the bank and trading it for a single crisp bill. On the flip side, sometimes you need smaller bills for a vending machine, or, in our world, for interacting with a dApp. Fragmentation helps you do that, breaking a large bill into smaller, more useful pieces. And Eternl helps you manage both.
So if you want to trade in all that digital loose change, you can consolidate. In Eternl Send tab, just flip the switch to enable advanced UTXO management. You'll see a button pop up that says Collect UTXOs. You click that and it bundles everything into one transaction that you simply send back to your own address. It's a fantastic little housekeeping trick to keep your wallet tidy. And what about all those random junk tokens you inevitably get from airdrops? Well, you can actually get rid of them for good. You just start a new transaction, add all the tokens you don't want, and you send them to this special magical address, $Burnit. And poof, they're gone forever. Just be aware the Cardano protocol requires a tiny minimal amount of ADA to go along with. And just like that, you're not just a person holding ADA anymore. You're an active participant in a global decentralized network. And that brings us to a final, much bigger question. See, staking is really just the beginning. As Cardano moves deeper into the age of governance, your stake also becomes your voice. You'll be able to delegate your voting power to help make huge decisions about the future of the protocol itself. So the question isn't just about earning rewards anymore, it's how will you help shape the future of Cardano?